Welcome, chemistry classes, to Mr. McMahon and
Mrs. Ochoa.
for your first lab of the year.
Woohoo!
Properties of ionic and covalent compounds. So, on your on the hot plate here, you will see 5 different substances. In your lab, they are calcium chloride, citric acid, paraffin wax, sodium chloride, and sucrose. And your job.
Okay, the first thing that we want you guys to do in your data table that you should have open in front of you is fill out the physical description for each of these substances. What do you think they look like? You know, just a few observations. There's not a ton up on a room, but jot down the best physical description that you can for these. And then we give them time. We stop and then.
And then what we're going to do is we're going to turn on the hot plate now, and you're going to rank them in order of melting point. Which one melts first, and then second, third, fourth, and fifth. So the hot plate has been turned on.
Well, it's getting there. There we go.
To high, and just watch and see what happens.
I think it's on.
Obviously, if you were in class, you would be standing over the hot plate as well, thinking, wow, nothing's happening.
Gives you time to complete your physical descriptions, though. I'm checking to make sure it's on. It's on because I see the red light. I just don't know if it's on high.
And I'm starting to feel warmth.
Ooh.
So it's definitely warming up. Mrs. Ochoa and I are also staring intently to see which one is going to melt first.
We're just watching it. It's kind of like a watched, what is it? A watched pot never boils. I don't know.
And don't worry, we are practicing safety. We do have our masks on.
We do. Okay. It's hot.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get in there. And just FYI, you guys, do not ever put your hand on a hot plate to check for the heat. Hold it above to feel the warmth. I don't feel any warmth, hence my impatience. That's off. Let's try it that way. Maybe it was on low. All right, I'm thinking I may have turned the heat up, so. Okay, maybe 330 is not enough. Not gonna work. I mean, it says high, so it's gotta be on high. Hello. Oh, I see some action, you guys.
Oh, yes.
All right.
Something's starting to melt.
So hopefully y'all see who you can rank number 1. Woohoo. Woohoo.
I'm staring intently to see what's going to be number 2. I have my guess.
Maybe we put too much on.
Look on the edges.
I'm seeing something happening.
A little bit of movement. I have my number 2.
So do I. Hopefully you guys can see. It's getting a little puddly. Oh, yeah, that's doing some stuff.
So I zoomed in a little.
Yeah, because we don't need wax. Maybe our piles are too big. But you guys, I'm just gonna kind of spread out these crystals to see what happens, if that does anything. All right, so hopefully y'all are seeing number 2. I want to make sure this doesn't spread into our sugar. All right, you guys, I'm going to hold that aside. But I think if you start looking around the edges, you're going to notice something. There we go.
Notice the color as well. Just turning a little bit. Smells as well. Almost like caramel.
Ooh, ooh. Oh, this is fun. It's dripping. I love it. And then...
So now I have a 1, I have a 2, I have a 3.
And the other 2 aren't going to melt.
And notice we are getting really, really hot.
Yeah, we're actually starting to boil, which is maybe not a good idea for some of these fumes. So
we will now turn it off.
I'm going to turn it off and
finish your observations. Okay, now we're going to do our conductivity test. And what is conductivity, everyone? Take a moment to think about that. First up is calcium chloride.
Okay, you guys, I'm going to put in the conductivity tester. You'll notice we've got the 2 electrodes here, and the lights will go on if there indeed is a current, if there are moving charges passing between the electrodes, which will show that this is a conductor. All right, and what do you notice? Mr. McMahon is going to go turn the lights off so that you can see better. Brilliant idea. So, do you guys, okay, so there you go. You've got 2 lights there, and your job is to record what you have.
And it says if it's very bright red and a medium green, that it is a very high conductivity on our key here. Next up, we have citric acid.
All right, I cleaned off the electrodes, so we'll see what happens here. So notice the green is not
as
glowing,
bright,
but there is the red is lit up a little bit.
The key says that it is bright red and dim would be a high conductivity. Medium red and no green would be medium conductivity. So sorry, this one says high. Dim red and no green is low, and no colors is low or no conductivity.
Yeah, so this one, because I know it's hard to tell you guys if it's bright or not, that would be considered like a medium red.
Here's our paraffin wax.
So just a titch of red.
Yes, not very much red at all, and not really green. Just a slight, if ever, if anything.
Yep, so I would say, there we go.
Next, we have sodium chloride. Whoa. Wowzers. Notice the difference from that last one to this one.
So both the red and the green are pretty bright on this one, you guys.
They almost blinded me, they were so bright.
All right, everyone good?
And last but not least is our good friend sucrose.
And kind of like the wax, you're gonna notice just a titch of red. The green is, for all intents and purposes,
Non-existent.
not lit up at all. All right.
So again, make those observations. Obviously, you can replay this video if you need to see everything for conductivity.
Woohoo!
All right, everyone, we are now going to do solubility. And Mrs. Cho, again, what is solubility?
All right, you guys, if you've heard of the word soluble before, things that are soluble dissolve in water. Things that are insoluble do not dissolve in water. So solubility is the test for that. So if you see that our substances are dissolving, you're gonna say yes. And if you see that they do not, you're gonna say no.
First off, we have calcium chloride in your data table.
All right, and stirring will speed up the process.
We talked about that agitation a little bit. And we will come back and show you all these at the very end too, so you can kind of see what happened. So again, make your observation. Again, it's just yes or no. Dissolved, did not dissolve. Next up, we will have citric acid. There's citric acid.
All right, you guys, so again, stirring. All right, and we'll move that aside and let you make final observations later.
Next is our paraffin wax.
Okay, you guys, you can kind of observe that and see what's happening there.
As I take that away, I'm going to bring in another glass here so that we can put in sodium chloride. Some of you might even recognize what that looks like.
And you can make it like your prediction as we're doing this. All right, there is our sodium chloride. I will move this out of the way, and then Mr. McMahon will be getting our sucrose ready.
There is sucrose.
All right, you guys, so take a peek at that, and we're gonna move it aside and then re-look at everybody.
So first up, here is what calcium chloride looks like now that it has set for a moment. Okay, that is calcium chloride.
Citric acid.
Next up, we have citric acid. That is citric acid. Okay, that is our citric acid. I believe next is our wax. Here's what the wax looks like. That is our paraffin wax. From the wax, we have sodium chloride. Sodium chloride. And last but not least, sucrose. So make all your final observations. So you have now had melting point and solubility and conductivity on the data table.
Along with your physical description.
Now you have hopefully enough information that you can answer these pre or post lab questions, as well as filling in the table at the bottom of your worksheet. Talk to you soon.
Bye.